Hello everyone and welcome to another incredible tutorial from the Drawing Factory. This time you will learn how to draw sadness from the Pixar Movie Inside Out by Pixar Studios. Sadness is one of the 5 emotions controlling Riley Anderson's mind. She lives in her brain and works with the other emotions. For this tutorial I used the drawing software SketchBook Pro, but you can use whichever software you're comfortable working with, or you can do it simply using pencil and paper. There's really nothing too fancy with using a drawing software. Here on the screen I will put the image that I will use as a reference during this tutorial, so use that for your reference as well, or you can see you will find a link to the image in the comment section below. As always, take a good look at the reference image and try to see if you can visually simplify it into an easier form. For example, in this case I fit the whole character into an elongated rectangle. So the first thing you should be doing is to draw a rectangle, dividing it along its midline and using that as a reference. Start to fill it with other elements, for example, the position and shape of the head. Be very careful at this stage in positioning these elements so that during your drawings you will be able to use them to position the other elements as well, using these as special signposts. Once you've done that, I suggest you try to establish where the scarf around Sadness' neck is and the line where her jumper ends. See, I have signed these 2 important lines with 2 arrows in the drawing. Very loosely now draw the legs and the arms, and notice how the tip of her hands end up almost on top of her cardigan's bottom line, so it's easy to position them. Legs are short and pointy, and end somehow within the rectangle we drew before. At this point you can add the hair, very loosely, the shape of the hair, and again notice how on both sides of her face the hair end at the same height. I have drawn a line to show it to you. Also, while drawing the hair, try to follow the curvature of the head. That's what that arrow is there for. Now, before moving on and tackling the face and the face elements, it's time to clean up your drawing just a bit. Erase unwanted lines except for the midline on Sadness' face. And before moving on, draw an horizontal line approximately 1/3 up her face. That line is really important because it will allow you to draw the eyes and position the eyes. While positioning the eyes on Sadness' face, be very careful and make sure they are at the same distance from the midline. Also use the midline to position the eyebrows, nose and mouth. But there's no secret trick here or rule. Do your best here by looking at the reference image to position the face elements as close as possible to their original position on the reference image. Again, do your best and do not worry if you make a mistake, just erase it and do it again until you're happy with the result. Once you're done, you can safely delete all construction lines, including those on Sadness' face. Now it's time to finish up the drawing, clean it up and get ready for the coloring part. Now, drawing the iris and pupils in the right position is critical to give Sadness her expression, so try to do your best. She's looking up and slightly on her left, but mostly up. To finish up the face now, you can draw the hugely sized eyeglasses she's wearing. They are perfect circles, so you can use a compass or another tool to make them perfectly round. However, to make them a bit more interesting, we will add in the next step a bit of thickness to them, particularly on the sides. Before moving on to coloring, it's important you're absolutely happy with the drawing so far, so I took a little bit of time to tweak my drawing as well. I made her eyeglasses thicker at the sides and overall tweaked her appearance, making her a tiny bit smaller and slimmer and getting her legs slightly closer to each other. Finally, I made sure I deleted all unwanted and construction lines. Next step is coloring Sadness. Let's get to it. first thing you want to do is to use flat colors to fill the main color areas of the drawing. Now, if you're using traditional technique, this is where I guess this tutorial might be a bit less useful to you. If you're using digital drawing instead, you can keep following along, because what I'm going to say here, you can replicate it easily pretty much in any drawing software out there. Choose your flat colors or base colors carefully and get on filling the entire drawing until it looks similar to what I've got on screen here. After that's been taken care of, it's time to add the shadows. Arm yourself with a soft airbrush tool with opacity set to lowish, maybe around 20%, and start building up shadows on the figure. In this particular rendering, the light comes from the left of the figure, so all the shadows are going to be on the right side of the figure. So don't rush these steps, take your time and build the shadows slowly, adding layers over layers of a darker base color. For example, on the face, use a darker blue, and on the cardigan, a darker gray. When shadows are laid down, you can start laying down the light. The process is similar to the previous one, however, in this case, you add a lighter version of the base color. Using a soft airbrush with low opacity, again, build the light areas slowly to create a smooth effect and to blend it seamlessly with the color underneath. I leave the finishing touch to you. If you followed so far, you ended up with a nice rendering of sadness. However, to lift the drawing even more, I added a bit of texture to the cardigan and hair and some very bright highlights to accentuate our arms and eyes. And there you have it, a glorious drawing of sadness from the Pixar movie Inside Out. I hope this tutorial helped you learn how to draw sadness. So, how did your drawing turn out? Did you find it difficult, easy? Let me know in the comments section below. For this week is all from me, and I'll see you all next week with another drawing tutorial from the Drawing Factory. Thank you for watching.